Hi everyone! So Sally and I are here today to share just a few of the awesome books that we managed to read in the month of January.
Yeah.
Started the year off with a bang.
I've already read 7 books.
That's awesome.
For me, that's unheard of.
I've read 20? Which
Yeah.
isn't as high as some months, to be fair. To be fair.
Yeah.
I think we both read a few books that we really want to talk about with you, so
very
let's
much so.
get into it.
The first one I'm going to talk about is All's Fair in Middle School by Victoria Jamieson. This is a middle grade graphic novel that came out in September of 2017, and I just got around to reading it, and boy am I glad I did. If you don't know Victoria Jamieson, she won the Newbery Award for Roller Girl a few years ago, and she's just fantastic. This story is all about 11-year-old Imogen, who has basically grown up in the Florida Renaissance Fair. Her parents both work there, and she and her little brother have spent their whole lives being homeschooled and just kind of running around the Renaissance Fair, being a part of the act with all of the other actors and characters that work there. But she's 11 now and she's starting middle school, and it's a huge change. She sort of starts to realize that the things that she takes for granted as totally normal, other kids really turn their noses up at, and there's all sorts of like social politics and stuff that's just so new to her. And honestly, new to everybody that age. It's just a part of being that age. But the setting of being in the Renaissance Fair is so much fun. The header for every chapter has this beautiful tapestry pattern around it. This is the arc, so some of the pages in here are still in black and white, but I know that it is full color if you go to the bookstore now. But she's so fantastic. She uses the graphic format just beautifully to tell a story, and it's also quite text heavy, which is nice. It kind of takes you a little bit longer to get through. Can't recommend it enough. 8 and up, pick this one up now.
So first up I have The Rook by Daniel O'Malley. This was my first reread of 2019 and I absolutely loved getting back into this world. This is the story of a girl named Miffany Thomas who wakes up in a park one day surrounded by dead bodies and wearing latex gloves and missing all of her memories. It turns out she is part of a secret government organization called the Cheque, and their job is to protect the public from supernatural sources. There is a lot going on in this book, but it is so much fun, and because there's so much to the plot, I knew I had to give it a reread before reading the sequel, which is called Stiletto, which I also really enjoyed.
Next up is another middle grade graphic novel, Be Prepared by Vera Brosgol. This is a graphic memoir about the author's real life experiences at Russian cultural camp for the first summer that she's ever gone. I believe when she's about 11 years old, 11 or 12. She and her brother both go away to this camp that is like way up in the woods, up a mountain, and celebrates her cultural heritage. So they have to speak in Russian a lot of the time, and they do a lot of like drills and stuff. Like it's really outdoor survival camp. And she thinks she wants to go. She begs her mom to let her go, and then when she gets there, she is in for a rude awakening with a lot of stuff, including the camp bathrooms, which sound awful. It was so funny, it was so heartfelt, and it was very fun to like see the real life camp letters that Vera wrote to her mom, basically begging to be allowed to come home, that are at the end of the book. Yeah, just fantastic. The more graphic memoirs I read, the more I just seek them out like crazy. I really, really like the format. And I loved this book.
And my second book is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and this is my second reread of 2019. I had a lot of fun rereading books this month. This book is wildly popular here on BookTube, so you might know what it's about, but just in case, this follows a librarian named Laszlo Strange, and he is obsessed with this mysterious lost city called Weep. Near the beginning of this book, a convoy from this mysterious lost city of Weep arrives at his library, and he ends up going on an epic adventure. I liked this book the first time I read it, but the second time I read it, I loved it. I connected with it way more upon rereading it, ended up giving it a full 5 stars. Totally love this series. totally understand why so many people love it now. Sometimes you just need to give a book a reread to really appreciate it.
And the last one on my list is quite a change of pace. It is Severance by Ling Ma. This is an adult novel that came out in summer of 2018 and has gone on to win several literary prizes. It was on like every best of 2018 list that I looked up. And so I obviously had to check it out for myself. It's a tricky one to describe, but in like broad strokes. Basically, a fever called the Shen fever has like wiped the world, and very few people remain, but it kind of turns people into zombies, but rather than being zombies like we know about them, it basically like turns you into a drone of your own routine. Like if you are an office worker, you'll continue to go to work and you'll be like typing, but your emails will just be kind of like pounding on a keyboard, and you know, dealing with projects that were from like 5 years ago or something. And people will just like cycle through the same routines. Really eerie stuff. But the main character is a woman named Candace, who is her family immigrated from China when she was quite young. So there's also a lot of stuff about just like the experience of growing up in New York as an immigrant family. And there's a lot of like very relevant stuff about like being a millennial, which normally I'm not a huge fan of, but she nailed it. She did it so perfectly. And a very strange part that I seriously connected to was that she works in publishing production, and like a lot of the production troubleshooting things that she deals with and the phone calls and the emails that she describes, I'm like, oh, I've had that conversation before. So yeah, I'm gonna call it now. We'll check in at the end of this year, but I'm pretty sure that this will be in my top 5 of the books I read this year. I can't stop thinking about it, and I finished it like 2 weeks ago. Definitely check it out.
And finally, I have what is now one of my all-time favorite graphic novels, and that is Check Please by Ngozi Ukazu. This is just so pure, and if you ever just need to feel happy, pick up this graphic novel. It is about a southern boy named Biddy who used to be a junior figure skating champion, but now he is attending Samwell University on a hockey scholarship, and he has joined the hockey team. It is just wonderful. I love Biddy. I love his relationship with all of the other members of the team. And he's also this like cute little baker boy. He's a vlogger. It's just so wonderful. I'm completely in love with the series. It is originally a webcomic, so I cannot wait to go back to that webcomic and see where the story goes from here.
So those were just a few of the standouts that we each read in January. We would love to hear what you read so far this year. You can leave those in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more bookish videos every week. Happy reading, and thanks for being awesome. Bye!